The 127 car qualified on pole. They'll be taking us away for the race start, which has been initialized, and be green flag in a few moments time. Here at Big Brain Racing, we're going to see some fantastic racing here today. Let's hope everyone can keep it on the track, and we do have green flag racing, and we're away. For the beginning of 6 hours of Spa, it begins right now. Tempest has got a good start on the outside line there at the Ford. There's a bit of action happening between the two of them, but nothing untoward, no yellow flag so far, and that's going to be an inside line there for Sky Tempesta on the inside of Shea O'Sullivan. But look at that Ford, he's got the legs, he's trying to catch a little bit of the slipstream. Behind them, the McLaren's going almost side by side, nearly 3 wide into Lacombe for the first time, and it does look like Vivid Racing has got a good outside line run there, but being blocked. There's been a spin. It's a spin. Shea Sullivan has been tagged on the rear, looks like by Sky Tempesta, and the number 797 could be another penalty coming their way, but Fisher Racing leads us away in P1, and it's a fantastic start for them, exactly what they want in this race. Oh dear, yeah.
Out of Lacombe. Yellow car involved, car number 744, the Brazilian, and the ACM car as well.
Oh, there's lots of cars going around there as well.
No name, a lot of cars as well.
So Oliver Kunze and the 175 car losing a lot. It's an inside move. Big dive there from the McLaren. It's going to be a switchback from Sky Tempesta. Yeah, they have gone a little bit too deep there. Rasung and the number 727. It's going to put them very compromised, and Bixby's going to have a look now up the inside into La Source. He's going to do it while things is going to have a little look as well.
BMW is looking as well.
Oh, that's very close there, but they all stay on track and no contact. Well, a little bit of contact, but nothing here for the number 1 car. Looks like they're in with the WRT car. BMW runs a bit wide. They move over maybe. No, it still seems to be fine. Oh, yeah, well, there we go. This is the thing, isn't it? Especially at a corner like Stavelot. It's quite bumpy, especially on the exit, and if the car gets any kind of airborne, well, you do find yourself rapidly in a situation where the car will turn itself around. The bottom 3.
Yeah, indeed. It's a change of mindset. You're in the first lap, you're in front, and you're constantly thinking about how am I gonna go to P1, and now it's really about damage limitation. You're setting the mark of where you want to be at your first pit stop and your second pit stop. I think a really target for them is to get back to P10, P15 at the end of the stint, which I think is possible. They have a really quick car on the straights. But yeah, your mentality really shifts. You're not looking in the top 5 anymore. You're really trying to race your own race at this point.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to get the focus back in, because it's very easy, especially at the beginning of an endurance race, to get a little bit tilted, I think is the word we usually use in the game. Oh, that is a car that is round. That's the number 99 car. Francesco have a good run in the slipstream, but can it beat McLaren power down the straight? Don't think it will.
No, the gap's too big, I think.
It's going to be a good slip here. We're just going to refocus on what's going on track. That's Clive Bixby, and he's got the position at the moment, but who's going to be braking later into the braking zone? That is a fantastic textbook overtake by Clive Bixby, but he's kind of rubbished it a little bit. Run very deep into Lescombe, and unfortunately it's going to cost him, but a bad exit from the number 727. Big send by Brogan Dyer up the inside of Malmedy, just ahead of him. So he'll continue his run at the moment. Actually looks like Brogan Dyer is going to be maybe going for it on the outside. Goes a little bit too deep though, so the 727 will have the switchback, and Brogan Dyer will have to go again. In fact, if anything, it's put him back in range of the number 70. So yeah, Brogan will have to just be a little bit more patient there. I think might be the way to go. But he clearly favours himself with the pace he's got at the moment. I think that last lap was a 17.9, including an overtake. Or McLaren gets the power down nicely. This could be side by side through Eau Rouge. Oh, it is. Room's given by both. And yeah, take the speed token. That's what Brogan Dyer's decided that time.
Yeah, take the track limit and stay competitive.
Oh, 3 wide. Here we go. The Ferrari Megans, the number 75 is going to go up the middle. Outbraked though by both the BMW and McLaren. Not often you see that. Ferrari usually the best on the braking because of the downshifting it can do. Kalit's Racing Team BBR are the ones under pressure. Speaking of under pressure, Brogan Dyer and Wild Things might be trying around the outside of La Source. Never usually works because the car on the inside determines essentially where you turn in, and that's going to be a run for the 75. Will have better power off the corner, but BMW versus Ferrari power, and they're going to go side by side into La Source. Yeah, and there we go. Another sensible back out from the 75. Always a bit easier to bully your way into Eau Rouge if you're on the inside of that first part of the corner. On the outside, very uncomfortable, especially with the big curb coming up the hill. Anyway, moving rapidly along, Rapid Virtual Racing in P12, followed by Shea Sullivan. Look at this comeback drive here, Martin, from Big Brain Racing. I think Gray has done a really good job in the ear of Shea Sullivan, and Shea is right back onto the pace.
Yeah, I've been watching them for the last 20 minutes, and they're really driving patiently. They're really picking out their moves, not risking too much. And, you know, they have the pace, so it's only a matter of time before they are back into the top 10, I think.
Onto the podium. Long race to go, of course. We've had an incident. The 183 has had a problem at La Source. It is currently sitting across the track. Very awkward place to be. Does get it going once again. Not quite sure what's happened with them. Doesn't look like any other cars were involved in it, so maybe just a bit of an overcooking in the braking zone for the 183 car. Luckily for everyone, no overtakes as a result of it. Brogan Dyer is going to try around the outside of Lecombe. Let's see if he can do it. This time, no. The McLaren holds beautifully the inside line. Gets it swept around nicely. Ferrari, as usual, backs out of it, says, I don't want any part of that. If it's not an easy overtake, I ain't taking it. And Brogan Dyer, that outside line around Lecombe is so tricky to do, requires so much cooperation from the other drivers, but it's just going to happen. Vivid Global Racing getting a terrible run through Rivage into No Name. They've lost the position, and Brogan Dyer in the BMW will go up now into P4. Well, you know, it was a really nice defense there from the 701, the number 70 car, sorry. But it all came apart with a little bit of a slide through Rivage. Right. Meanwhile, the other Vivid Global Racing car, the number 72 Ferrari, is under all sorts of pressure from Dive Bomb Motorsports, who, I mean, we haven't had a lot of camera time on them so far. I haven't seen a dive bomb from them just yet. But it is in the name, so we shall see. Hopefully any overtakes they make out on track are going to be very, very clean ones. Looks like Pierce in the number 11 BMW for Big Brain Racing has slipped off the back of these two for whatever reason. Probably had a couple of corners that weren't quite optimal. Still optimum conditions out there at the moment. 26 degrees in the air, 32 degrees Celsius on track. So perfect conditions for going racing. Maybe a little bit hotter out there than some teams would like, but you know, this is part of managing the tires through an endurance stint. 65-minute stints though, so we all know that a tire set will last easily through that. Most cars can't go much past 65 minutes anyway on a tank of fuel, regardless, except for maybe the Ferrari, which I think can, maybe not at a track like this with the top speed. You're doing a lot of RPM down the straight, so it might not be quite as fuel efficient here. But I do know the Ferraris are usually quite good on their fuel through these kinds of races. We will suspect that Brogan Dyer's got a little bit of pace on them, I think, just given the way that the cars have caught back up. But they keep making mistakes behind that, so it's a sort of, you know, suddenly finding a bit of time, suddenly losing a whole bunch of time. And even there are flash the lights. I wonder if Brogan Dyer is watching the stream. I think he might be.
Maybe. Or it's just a coincidence. Well, time will tell.
Time will certainly tell. That's right. He does like occasionally to do what I've now termed the Fernando Alonso, where he's in there racing and watching the big screens as he's driving on through the circuit. So we'll see if Brogan's doing that. But nonetheless, he's got a lot to worry about right now. I can't think of another reason why he'd be flashing his lights other than maybe accidentally clicking a button on his wheel. So we shall see. Nonetheless, this is a good run.
He believes that he has the pace on the McLaren, so he naturally wants to get past without losing too much time.
Yeah, so it might have just been a warning of, hey, I'm going to overtake you. I'm going to be aggressive. And that is something that happened that, you know, I've seen a lot of conversation about, wow, this is a little bit dicey there. 75 car's going to go alongside Vivid Global Racing, but will back out once again. Might look to the inside line, but no, thinks better of it. Oh, Brogan Dye is going to make a send. Calat Racing's going to get the better line though, but runs a bit deep on the exit. Going to be slightly compromised down the straight, but McLaren Power once again will probably see them through. Might have to go a bit defensive. We've got a yellow flag on the straight. The number 10 car is not in a good position on the exit of a Rouge. It's going to have to stay right out of the way. Lots of maneuvers there. Oh dear, that's very close for Brogan Dyer and Rasung.
Sideways, both of them.
Got two by two, they go. Brogan's trying everything. He's going to try and look down the inside. Gone very deep into the corner though, forces Calat Racing team offline, and they'll take the escape road and go on through. The 75 car now looking fighty in the background, going side by side with Vivid Global Racing. They'll try and bring up a camera shot that can capture absolutely everything. Another attempted move by Brogan Dyer into Rivage, but nothing has come of it. The 75 though has made a move on the McLaren and has gotten on by. That's a nice move, and now we've got two Vivid Global Racing cars in a row. And the battle continues. Good sequence of events there and some great side-by-side racing.
Yeah, and here we can witness as well that P7 has caught up to the back of the train. If they are going to continue fighting ahead, it's going to be a train of at least 6 cars, which is amazing. This is really the essence of endurance racing, I think.
Completely agreed. I think there's a couple of big factors. One is the close racing and the extra respectful racing, because no one wants to have an accident in these kinds of endurance racing races. But also I love to see when the strategies start to evolve. We'll start seeing pit stops, maybe even at different times. Who's going to get a better pit stop, who's not? There's another flash in the light by Brogan Dyer. I think he is definitely, as you said, Martin, indicating to the car ahead that he is going to make a send, because he's got a good run at the moment. He's in the slipstream right now. It's the 24 car. Looks like, yeah, Calat Racing team's going to take the inside line. Very, very late braking by the number 24 car. He's going to go deep into the bus stop chicane. It's going to allow the 75 car to maybe have a look, but he's actually lost the position. What a move there by Clive Bixby to take the position away from the 75 car. Beautiful stuff there. Knew that it was going to be, the 75 was going to be held up by the 3 cars ahead, and took the move, took the outside line, and did it beautifully.
Yeah, I think the BMW is too ambitious at this point. He's getting a bit desperate. I think everyone knows making a move around the outside of the bus stop is almost impossible if you're equal on pace. And yet he tries anyway, which is amazing to see, because now everyone is catching up. But not so good for his own race.
That's right, and as you said before, we've now got a 6-way battle for the last podium position. P3 at the front, and that's P8 at the back of this train. What a fantastic bit of racing.
I think it's also important to note that the car in P2 has a 10-second penalty as it stands, and it's most likely going to be a penalty of 10 seconds on top of this, because of the incident he had with Shea O'Sullivan, and that will put him, as it stands, and we still have 20 minutes in the stint, also in the mix of this train. So, I mean, it's too early to speak, but I'm just hypothetically speaking.
No, I think it's a good point to raise, actually. Even with the 10-second penalty, it'll put him, you know, basically it'll put P3 in slipstream range, assuming they pitted at approximately the same time. But you're right, I think we can all agree that there's probably is, well, certainly the stewards will be looking at that. I usually try and avoid making any kind of determinations. I'm not a steward, certainly not an expert in that area, but by the looks of it, that was the 797's fault at the beginning. But nonetheless, if it is a more penalty coming through for them, they will find themselves losing a lot of positions as a result of that. Fantastic, but fantastic for these cars, of course. And that means that Brogan Dyer will be fighting the P2 spot. The 75 car is going to try down the inside, forces the 70 car to go wide. Maybe a little bit of a switchback, but no, doesn't quite work out this time into the bus stop chicane. Fantastic stuff.
Ferrari doesn't have that good of a traction control system, so on exits it's usually a lot slower. Especially against a McLaren, which is running TC1, TC2.
Yes, good point. And they're all nearly going side by side into Eau Rouge. Brogan Dyer has to back out again. He's going to be very close. And sometimes being this close to get to the slipstream can be a bit dangerous. There's a bit of a touch there. Front bumper goes to rear bumper. And the defensive line will be taken now by the 727. And sometimes being too close in the slipstream, you don't get quite enough of the effect. In the background, we've got Koenig overtaking Kudster. Looks like Dive Bomb Racing has made that happen very nicely into Legume, but they're going to have a bit of a fight back going on between them. I think he's lost the position again. Yes, he has.
Yes.
Wow. This is fantastic back and forth stuff right now.
And you can see once you try to make a move, you lose so much. You know, the gap from the McLaren to the Ferrari now is again a second. Oh, sorry, the 75 and 72 car is again a second. So it's really risky to make a move. You really have to, you compromise a lot, so to speak.
Yeah, because you compromise the car that you're overtaking and you essentially compromise yourself. So whatever time or whatever gap you had there is always going to reduce. And now that means that really all they've done in that exchange is just lost time to the pack ahead. Still just sitting within slipstream range though, so that will be time that they can gain back, especially if these cars continue fighting. Which I would say, bold prediction here, they're probably going to.
I agree.
We're really onto it here in the commentary box today. Bold predictions, but as always, I have to refer to the words of Murray Walker. We don't make predictions here in the commentary box. We make prophecies that turn out to be false, and I'm sure we've already made a few so far, because no one can predict racing, and the human racing factor always coming into play. Another very close spat here between all the cars through the bus stop. A little bit of a wide exit for David Rassung, but he's holding on beautifully at the moment, is the 727 car. Really impressed how he's managing this with Brogan Dyer coming up behind him and doing all these sends, and there's another one. Another good exit, though, for the 727. Brogan Dyer's going to have to back out of this again, and like deja vu, we're seeing two cats in the Matrix right now. It's all happening again. It's going to be another slipstream from Brogan Dyer, but maybe a bit close this time because he has to pull out. Otherwise, he risks hitting the rear bumper of the 727, and you don't want that to happen. Speaking of rear bumpers and overtakes, well, there's the 70 car. Bixby is going to potentially get the position. Brogan's going to try and fight him in the braking zone. It doesn't happen, and the number 70 will now take his shot at trying to fight against the 727. So we're back to the order we were about 8 laps ago, Martin.
Yeah, indeed. I think the BMW is driving a sprint race without any without insulting anyone. But yeah, he's too aggressive in the way he goes into turn 1 as well. He has done it for multiple laps now, and you really compromise the exit onto the back straight. And yeah, that allowed the car number 70 to get past him.
Yeah, with the overtakes into La Source, it's so tricky because even if you do get a good, dive bomb, so to speak, or a good overtake up the inside line, you're so compromised on the exit. And, La Source is one of those corners where when you take it in a qualifying lap, all you're doing at La Source is focusing on the exit. So you're just costing yourself more and more pace. And I think, by the looks of it, I think Brogan Dyer probably does have the pace to run away from these guys if he got some clean air. Very wide line taken there by Vivid Global Racing in the background. The Ferrari, number 72, does get back on track. It's going to bring Pierce back into things in the BMW. But yeah, La Source is all about the exit because you want to be carrying that speed through Eau Rouge and Ravion and up the Kemmel Straight. Yeah, and if you're not doing that, then yeah, you're going to be costing yourself time. And I think the BMW has done that a couple of times now. You know, if you let the car take a car ahead take a normal line through La Source, and you really just go a bit wider, you can focus on getting that maximum exit speed, and that's how you're going to maximize the slipstream effect up the Kemmel Straight. Certainly in my experience, I've run 24 hours race here at Spa before, and we got turned around very early as well. We were qualified P5 and ended up last after Les Combs on lap 1. And what we ended up doing was just saying, right, if we just focus on the exits, focus on the easy overtakes.
Going side by side.
So they are. All right, run us through it, Martin. Oh,
he's going down the inside. He overshot the braking, I think, and that allows the BMW to catch back up. Maybe potentially get a move into the hairpin on the inside. The McLaren defense. Oh, it's so close, you know.
That's brilliant racing, though. I mean,
everyone's settled again.
Yeah, and it's
One
back
lap
to
survived.
exactly. We're just back to the same order we were at before. That was very close indeed, and yeah, good spotting there. Seeing the two cars go side by side. Here I was rambling on about 24 hours of Spa. We'll focus on the 6 hours of Spa. So lucky for me, I've got you in the commentary box here to notice the action.
Now you can tell your story. You know, into the bus stop is the next opportunity for them.
There we go. I've got a sector to get my story out. And I was basically done with the story anyway. But it's the, you know, focusing on those exit speeds, super important, especially in the McLaren, especially even in a BMW, especially when you've got pace, when you know you've got more pace than the cars ahead potentially. That's a very wide run there for Vivid Global Racing.
Tire wear is playing a massive role as well, you know. 50 minutes have passed, and I can see a lot of cars are lifting through Eau Rouge and through Stavolo because they are just not able to go flat anymore because of the tires. And especially these runners ahead, they've leaned on it.
Oh no, we've had an
spin.
incident. Oh no, that is a disaster for the 727. It's all gone wrong, and it's not their fault at all. We're going to take a little look at the replay if we can find it there. Let me see if I can pull this up. But yeah, take us through what did we just see?
I will take the replay again. They went side by side in through the bus stop, obviously.
Yeah, it looks like Clive Bixby just tagged the rear end there,
yeah,
unfortunately.
the BMW goes wide for avoiding action on the number 70 car. And you know, it's really one of those things. I would say racing incident, actually, because obviously I'm not a steward. I'm a racing driver, but you know, car 727 goes back onto the racing line now when he knows that car 70 is on the inside. I think there's something to say for both. It was an unfortunate event, I would say, that definitely. And car number 24 definitely profited of it, so he got what he wanted, to be in front of him.
Oh, then he immediately lost the position to the number 70, so Bixby went for it on the straight and got it right back. But yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with you there. I mean, there wasn't a lot. There wasn't really any space for Bixby to use there, and inevitably the McLaren ahead was going to be turning back in for the remainder of the bus stop chicane. So yeah,
it's one
really
of those
unlucky.
Unfortunate events, yeah, because Bixby, he had all the right to go on power there, but I can understand the car number 17. Which car number was it that got spun? 175,
I think that was
wasn't it?
727, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 727. Sorry, but 727 went back onto the racing line, which I completely understand. You know, you want to maximize your exit there, and especially when there are two cars within a tenth of you. But
Exactly.
Unfortunately, they touched.
That's right, and this is, as they say, this is racing, because that just does happen sometimes. And so now it'll be the 727's turn to just get back in the zone and to start fighting back. Actually, I'll be honest, it's probably not the worst place to have been spun, and they Rasang did a really good job rejoining the track. He's rejoined right behind Pierce in the number 11, so he's right back in the slipstream. He's in the same slipstream train as Bixby and Dyer. So yes, he's lost 6 positions, but we've got 6 cars, or 7 really, all in a very short space space on the track. And he's done a fantastic job of getting himself back in, essentially to this battle. So I'd expect to see Rasung making some progress again in short order. And, you know, I can think of worse places to be spun out. Pretty much every other corner on the track, but the low speed part at the bus stop chicane does mean that you can get back up to an equal speed of the other cars around you a little bit faster than other spots on the track. So a little update from around the track. Does look like there is a nice battle evolving. And this is, again, we've got the 999 car here. And they are going to be trying to keep this position. P10 at the moment for them, away from Shea Sullivan. But we do know that Shea Sullivan has got the pace on him in that Ford. Might be starting to struggle a little bit on the tyres too, as you did say a moment ago, Martin. Yeah, we're now, 52 minutes into this race, and that means we're about 13 minutes away from the stint timer elapsing for all the current drivers out there. And that was a pretty average puant there for the 999. Shea's just going to take his time, though, I think. He's been driving very calmly at the moment, and to go from P3 to essentially last and then to drive it back nearly into the top 10 already within a single stint, that's a really good bit of work in the driver's seat from Shea Sullivan. So nice bit of work there, and that does mean that they're going to be right on it when it comes to pit stop time.
Yeah, it's exactly. It will be interesting with the pit stops, not only for them but for everyone, because you have this 10-minute margin. You know, you can pit when you've driven a 55-minute stint or when you've driven a 65-minute stint, and it will allow you to have either 1 lap or 2 lap pressure tires. But it will be interesting to see what the teams are doing. Spa is a long pit lane, so you won't have the trouble of being in with the back markers. But I think what the car 727 is doing now is what you should be doing if you're in a fight. Get out of the fight as soon as possible, get new tires, and try to overtake them on pure pace.
Yeah, it is obviously a little bit of an early pit stop, but 6-hour race and 65-minute stints does mean that pretty much everyone's going to end up with at least one shorter stint at some point during the full race time. So it could. I think you're absolutely right. It's the right time for them to be making a move. You're getting dirty air from the cars ahead of you, which makes it harder on the tires, makes it harder to drive, makes it easier to make mistakes. So getting out of that battle and then going, right, if I do a good pit stop here, do a few really good hot laps, and hopefully do better hot laps in these cars when they come out in their pit stop, then you find yourself gaining positions without having to do anything on track. And you know, that's with the overtakes with the convenience of fast food, so to speak, really at the end of the day. So I think that's a very smart move. It's something we see a lot in sprint series racing as well. If you're in a battle and you know you've got to make a mandatory pit stop at some point, and just diving out of that battle, jumping into a nice bit of clean air really will make a huge difference. So we'll keep an eye on the 727 and where they end up coming out. Of course, initially it's going to lose them a lot of positions, long pit lane here, but it does all even out once everyone's done their first stops. We're about 10 minutes away from the first stint timer elapsing, so I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of activity in the pit lane at some point. Slight disadvantage towards the end of your stint, slightly less tires involved. And that's never fun at a place like this. Oh, very deep there from the number 70. Takes the escape road exit and comes back on track, but I think this will be an easy overtake for the 175 and moves up into the P5 position. But what that really does is put Vivid Global Racing in a good position for the slipstream up the Kemmel Straight. So we shall see. Looks like the 75 car as well has started to pull a little bit of a gap over Brogan Dyer. Might be using the tires a little bit more. And our first drive through for track limits of the day for the 307 car. It's an hour and 9 minutes in, but David Tassinato for EOS Racing in the P28 at the moment, unfortunately does pick up their first drive-through penalty. And that's something that's going to become a topic throughout this endurance race, as it always does. And before I get to that topic, here's another topic: drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane for the number 10. So unfortunately, that is only a very slight exceeding of the pit speed limit. So we'll take this period of time now to look a little bit around the grid, since we are talking about some of the other positions, and we have had our first pit stop for the entire grid now. So looking at the battle now, there's a battle going on for P24 right now, and I know some people go, oh, that's not very significant, but all the gaps at the top are sort of starting to even out a little bit. So we've got about a 1.5 second gap between everyone in the top 20 cars right now. So the battles further down the grid starting to become a little bit more significant. We're on board with Luke Ten Brink here for Red Bull Miami. Is a number 218 car. And he's in a battle with a 45 just ahead. So Sykes is going to be under a little bit of pressure. Ferrari versus Ferrari right now. Ahead of them, we've got 3 Porsches in a row also in a battle. Is it going to be a move down the inside from the 218 car? Yes, it is. Goes a little bit too deep, and the 45 car will try and take advantage of that and try and get the position back. We'll have the inside line, able to put the power on nicely. And into La Source, that will be advantage to the 45 car once again. See what happens here. Yep. But as we've said before, Martin, you take that inside line and give space, you'll find yourself compromised. It was nicely done there by the 45, actually, to hold on to that.
It looks very nice from the both of them. You know, they leave space. They're not taking unnecessary risks to overtake. It's really clean how they're racing. Really, really nice.
And as we watch this nice bit of racing, up the Kemmel Straight we go. I do note we've got some overcast weather coming in, so the skies are getting a little bit grayer out there as we head through the middle of the day here in Stavelot. It does mean that track temperatures are likely set to start to reduce as we head towards the evening. 4 hours 46 remaining.
Is big battle for P10 now. P9.
Oh yes, there is. Thank you very much for redirecting us. You're absolutely right, and that's Shea Sullivan making some moves. Martin, take us through what you've seen.
Well, Shea had the run coming into the bus stop, forced the Ferrari a bit wide, you know. That led to Shea having a better exit onto the main straight and having the run into La Source. And rightly so, Car 72 gave up the position because he knew he was doomed for a Rouge. So yeah, really good racing from both of them.
Yeah, track smarts there. You just do not want to risk it at Eau Rouge, and you want to maintain the speed that you've got, and we all know what happens when you go side by side through a section.
Yeah, especially if you know the car behind is that much faster than you. There's no point in risking a collision or you know, holding up each other because it will cost time for the both of you. So you better let him through.
Shea Sullivan has now found himself up into P9 in this race. He's about 3 seconds off the back of Sergei Krasnov in the number 27 car. So he's getting right back up into this. And a fantastic first stint to fight back from the early incident on lap 1, putting them straight back up into the top 10 at the start of the second stint. So it's really nice work from the Big Brain Racing team here. They were certainly on for a shot of the win today. That might be slightly running away from them given the way that the 127 car has been operating in this first hour and 15 minutes of the race. But this could end up being a really good run. Still 4 hours and 44 minutes to go, so plenty of time yet. But just given those lap times that I'm seeing, 2:18.1 there from Shea Sullivan last lap. He's just about to come up to the timing line, so I'll give you an update on what that time was this lap round. As a 2:18.5, but the cars ahead lapping in the 2:18.9s at the moment. So the number 11
is doing 2:19.8, so that's almost a second and a half faster than his teammate. So he might be able to save his teammate now from the attack from car number 27.
That's very true, yeah. And 2 BMWs. If he gets, BMW and a Ford here, so it might be a little bit of team antics going on here. You never really know. But the ultimate pace for Risa Sullivan and the number 11 seems to have been an 18.8. So he's certainly capable of matching the 27 car's pace at the moment. But obviously just had a bit of a bad lap, that previous one. Nonetheless, the car ahead of these two is Oliver Jewig in the number 70, who's lapping in also in the 2:19. So at the moment, Shea Sullivan's pace is third in the grid. Oh no, sorry, fourth on the grid. Right now it's the 127, the 75, and the 24 lapping about the same pace but faster. But yeah, Cher Sullivan's got a real shot, and yeah, we've got the BMW holding on for dear life at the moment to keep this Ferrari behind.
I think the BMW is running a bit lower wing actually than the other BMWs on the grid, because on the straight the Ferrari wasn't able to catch up quite as much as I'm used to seeing. So obviously I do not know, I'm just guessing, but that's what commentators do, isn't it?
That's right. Yep. It's we don't make predictions. We make prophecies that turn out to be false, and maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But I think you're absolutely right. It looks like a lower wing, so not based on what we're seeing right now, I will just say, just based on what the car's doing, especially through sector 2 and 3. But there was a good exit there onto the Blanchimont straight. So nicely done from Ryan O'Sullivan. Oh, sorry, Reese O'Sullivan, I should say. We do have a Ryan O'Sullivan, I believe, also in Big Brain Racing. So there's lots of O'Sullivans.
O'Sullivan invasion.
That's right, yeah, Sullivan. Yeah. There we go. That's yeah. There's a lot of O'Sullivans in Big Brain Racing, and we've seen them work together and sometimes not work together out on track in different series around the different communities here in ACC. This time, looks like they might be working together to see if they can take on the number 27 and potentially elevate Shea Sullivan in the 78 car up a few extra positions on the grid. So we'll keep an eye on that. We've had a shout out in chat as well from Silverin saying, let's go Mario and Gazzoni in the number 744 car. Let's go. And in fact, perfect timing, because the 744 car and the Brazilian driver Mario Costa for Macon Racing now in it to get ahead of the other Big Brain Racing Porsche on the grid, the 343 car. So a nice battle going on here. The number 28's had an issue as well, so we'll keep on board with this, but Lucas Sauer in the number 28 car has unfortunately had a bit of an oopsie at the bus stop chicane, has gotten going again, so no blockage out on track. Looks like a bit of avoiding action was taken by the 145 just to keep out of what was going on there. But yes, Martin, we have 4 hours and 40 minutes remaining. That means that our race is going to end just after 5 p.m. out on track. And we know that cooling conditions can really work to the favor of the lap times. I think we'll probably be set to see some faster lap times towards the end of this race.
Yeah, definitely. The general thing around Spa is 1 degree is about a tenth. So if you go 1 degree higher, you will go 1/10 slower. And if at the end of the day it will get a lot cooler, so there will be a few tenths pace difference as well, because of the weather, you know. With lower track conditions, you don't have as much grip, but you're faster on the straights, and especially on a track like Spa, it is really important that you have the straight line speed.
So I'm going to put you in the hot seat right now, and I'm going to get you to make another prediction. And actually, I want chat to also get in on this prediction as well. Everyone in chat who's watching at the moment, what do you think about a bit of wet weather here? And Martin, what are your thoughts on a bit of wet weather today at Spa?
I would love to see some wet weather, actually, you know. Yeah. Oh, two spins,
we've
actually.
had 2 spins. We've had the 744 car who we're on board with, and Cher Sullivan. Oh no! Yeah. Were you on board with the 78 car by any chance?
Yes, I actually was. He went for a move on the inside on La Source, and he collided with the number 72 car, or 27 car actually. Sorry.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's so unlucky.
I couldn't see whose fault it was, but they collided and Shea spun, unfortunately.
So we're having a look on the replay right now. So it's into La Source, and the 27 car's on the outside line. Shea's on the inside line. And oh yeah, it's just one of those little touches where Shea was hoping for a bit more space to be given, but there was no real space to be given at all from the 27 car. So yeah, another racing incident, I suspect, there, Martin. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's what happens sometimes.
We're fortunately enough not stewards, so
That's
we don't
right.
have to make the decision.
Exactly right. Yeah. So that's the benefit of being in the commentary box. So the battle between the 11 and the 27 will continue, and that elevates the 727 car and the 72 car up into P9 and 10, and puts Shea Sullivan and Big Brain Racing back down into P11. So they've got more work to do now. This race starting to compound just that little bit. But again, we know that Ford's got the pace, so we shall see what the story ends up being throughout the remainder of the race. So we've had an update from Gray on Shea Sullivan. Shea had to pit due to his wheelbase issue after the contact. His wheel was pointing the wrong way, even though there was no suspension damage. Okay, that explains it. Well, that's even more unlucky. They've had the spin, and now they've had hardware issues to go along with it, and have had to box and switch out the drivers. Well, Martin, I'm sure you've experienced that or something similar in racing before. It's never fun to have issues start to ramp up like that.
In real life, you have mechanical issues, you know, an engine blowout or the gearbox that's stuck. And in sim racing, you have also technical issues. Oh wait, sorry, I'm stupid. Never mind. No, it's you have contact with another car and the steering wheel is just bent. You can't really drive anymore, you know. You're losing so much time that it's better to pit and to change drivers and get everything working again.
Exactly, yeah, and it sometimes can be well, yeah, we've got suspension damage and the wheel's turned over 180 degrees and the car doesn't point straight, and admittedly wasn't suspension damage for them this time, but you can't drive when your wheel's inverted, so it's a necessary pit stop for them, unfortunately, but I'm sure De Silva will do his best to bring the car back into contention. You know, we talk about it being consequential, but, you know, 4.5 hours of racing, still so much that can go right, so much that can go wrong for your competitors, and that is the essence of endurance racing at the end of the day. It is so up in the air to the last few minutes. So one of the things I always look forward to is seeing strategies start to interweave.
Very nice move from the Ferrari there.
Agreed.
Around the outside.
Rare to see that actually at No Name around the outside.
I haven't witnessed it before, so yeah, quite special.
Very nice work, and could have managed to force Reese Sullivan just a little bit wide through Ravage and opened up the entry through into No Name, and yeah, that was it, said and done. It was beautiful execution. In the meantime, the 485 car, ACM, has had a bit of an off just before Stavilo. Really unfortunate there for ACM. Mark Mass was in the chat before. Now he's behind the wheel in the car. Going to be pulling to the left to let the leader and a couple of others through. Currently sitting P25, and again, we'll be looking to sort out this livery issue on the Aston Martin with the next broadcaster who'll be coming in, who is John Wright. And I'll be talking to him shortly, I'm sure, to organize a switchover of the streaming as well. In fact, John, are you there? Are you in the you are in the comms box?
I am in the comms box. I've been for a little while now. I very almost jumped in with the single word answer, which was going to be terrible.
Yes, okay,
of course,
I know
in reference to your surnames, yep. Thrown Finlay under the bus straight away. Welcome to Raven Comms.
Exactly right, yeah. Well, this is what I've come to expect. And at the end of the day, I just treat it as a learning experience. I'll slowly get better over time. Maybe, John, in 10 or 20 years.
Sorry.
That's quite all right. Yeah, that's quite all right. The sarcasm, well-founded.
Indeed, indeed. And being a Scotsman, sarcasm is one of the few things I actually do well. That's why I hide behind a microphone and let talented people thrive, George.
Exactly right, yeah.
If the replay function will work properly, so yeah, good run into the final chicane for Team Dive Bomb there. Actually, they got a really good run through that final chicane. The car ahead bogged down ever so slightly, so they had the slight advantage here going into Le Source. Signal them on the early line, but oh yeah, backed out with it again. So yeah, definitely, it's funny that they called themselves Dive Bomb. That was a clear opportunity for a dive bomb, and decided to just wait. And yeah, tactics around this course, Martin, it's all, I mean, the tracks like the Nürburgring, 90% of the corners are there purely to set up the next corner. You really do have to, it's almost like a game of chess, and it's much the same here. If you're close to someone at La Source, there's is there any point in going for the overtake when you're going to get that Camel Straight slipstream, which is just invaluable? It's the same coming through the college complex, making your way towards Blanchimont. Do you want to go side by side through college and Stavelot, or do you want to just cool your jets, get that slipstream and look for that exit? So it's a great game of cat and mouse that you get around here, and at the moment, yeah, Kunzer there for Divebomb Motorsport. He's definitely the cat in this equation. Racing. Driver by the name of Totally Garbage. I don't remember signing up to race today. Ah, no, that's because I'm also known as Double O Rubbish, as well as Double O Raven out on track. That is Double O Rubbish is my driver name. But yeah, Totally Garbage. I don't know about that. He's been in the 2-minute 20s in the lap time, and that's quite the battle again. It's all about shaking them off for that slipstream. Oh, and working for the tyres as well. He's got the inside line, does the EOS car. Yeah, Martin, I have to ask, is a driver as well, one of the things... Oh, he's going to go for a dive bomb. That's a full send right up the inside as he overshot it. Oh.
So you want to pass the car, but you have to lift before to get the run into the bus stop, because it's just not possible to overtake into Blanchimont.
Yeah, it really does make a massive difference to your accelerator and brake input, the way you come out of Stavelot trying to, yeah, whether you're the car in front or the car behind, like you say, you really need to cool your jets. Amigos Racing, though, they're going to go 3 wide. They've got a back marker just getting out of the way. Vivid Global Racing, they've got the outside line on the way into Melmedy. They're going to hold the inside line, hooks these 2 wheels. Oh, and a bit of style points there. That was almost a 30-degree angle for the back end. It's Amigos Racing find themselves with a single digit next to their name, 9th position at the expense of Vivid Global. Beautiful driving by both of them.
Nice move.
It really was, wasn't it? It's full commitment as well. I saw a move at the start of the race that I was watching, and you are destroying the rest of the field. You also don't get much overtaking done. There isn't much racing, and as much fun as it is to win, everyone wants to get involved in some overtaking action. And at the minute, Sidoric only got the blue flag parade waving on. He's extended that gap 6 seconds since I've started.
Yeah, they're hanging on really nicely, you know. They're driving the pace of P2, and yeah, no problems for them.
And we have ACM have picked up their livery. We've got it working. And they've also got a 20-second penalty as well.
Oh, yellow flag, car number 307. He already has a 15-second penalty.
That's a big hit.
That's a big one. Just when you transition to the other car.
Yeah, so it was just out of Stavelot then. They've got a blue flag. We saw the blue flag coming through just before they got to block.
Very bad move.
Yep, completely mistimed that. Yeah, they were clearly trying to tuck back into the slipstream. They've got that massively, massively wrong, and that has impacted.
The battle for P7 is kicking off as well. They're now coming onto Blanchimont. Oh, the really tight P9 is also catching up, so there will be a train forming.
Which we'll love to see. We've got about, what, 12 minutes maybe before we start seeing more pits? Sorry, 17 minutes.
I think in 5 minutes time people will start pitting. And, you know, there's still 15 minutes. I think P1 is gonna pit in 15 minutes time at the 3-hour 50 mark.
Yeah, because they did run their stint. I did see one car picked up a drive-through for breaching the driver's stint timer by 5 seconds. But yeah, the lead car, they did maximise their first stint. Another question, you know what, Martin, this is going to turn into an elongated interview for you, so apologies in advance. I often, as a commentator, what's the phrase I'm looking for? I'm not what you think I am, you're what you think I am. People often put their own thought processes into how they might approach something, and for me, if I'm doing a 65-minute stint timer, oh, never mind, because over Blanchimont and Rouge, that is an absolute phenomenal run that he's got up over the top of the hill. No defence whatsoever from the Big Brain Racing driver. He's going to absolutely hold his line, but the McLaren is going to take the position. And that is a phenomenal move from Raptor. Amigos, sorry, not Raptor, that's Amigos. Gianluca Regatti. And that's
I think the big brain car knows that car 999 has a 15-second penalty, so it's not worth fighting over. You know, with a pit stop, especially on entry, you can gain easily a second. And in a tight race such as this as well, with Jonathan Weinberg, where we're on board with, like a second is a lot. You can pass another car. So, and then also at Spa, you have the nasty pit exit, where some people tend to die on top of it, that they want to take it flat. So no, we practice pit entry a lot, and obviously braking as late as possible to get into the box. Oh, he kept it out of the wall.
wow.
That was perfect. Good job, good job.
Standing ovation for Jonathan Weinberg, Vivid Global Racing, and that was a very vivid image there for the driver, not one. He would have been relishing, and that didn't even register as a yellow flag. Let's see if we can get another look at that. That was very close. Weinberg doing phenomenal work to keep that one out of the wall there. The slipstream, yeah, the extra pace that you get in the slipstream, it can catch out even the highest level of drivers. Hopefully the replay's running okay on the stream for some reason. Yeah, I think I might have a pending update in the background, because it does seem to be running slowly in the update. It does seem to be running slowly in the replay, but hopefully that looks smooth. You know what, the replay is going to stop just short. Oh yeah, the car just stepped out ever so slightly there, and he just couldn't get the back. He really did well to hold on to that there. Do like that Raptor livery as well. Oh no, sorry, this is a battle for position. Sorry, Krasnov has come out. Yeah, they're right on top of one another out of the pits.
Krasnov got crashed out earlier in the race, obviously, and he's now making his way up again. He's making remarkable progress over the last half an hour, I would say.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, that was 2 for 1 there. That gets him up to 15th position. He's left. That's Hellbrand, in fact, looking for the inside line. Hellbrand looking to make it 2 overtakes on the car freshly out of the pits. And yeah, nice cold. I mean, even at 36-degree track temperature, you're still needing a lap, Martin, to get those tyres up to temperature. There we go, we're running again. Excellent. Dive Bomb Motorsport up into 3rd place. Still Fabian Sodka by. Oh, and he's almost
very close with the back marker.
Very close with the back marker, and interesting one to throw into the mix, and Jakob Winter almost thrown it into the boot of the Ferrari ahead of him. It's Kragnas that's coming under severe pressure over Erosion along the Kemmel Straight. They're going to go side by side into Melmody. Let's jump onto Helicam and get a good look at this one. Later on the brakes is the McLaren. He's got the wider line, and another nice move through Melmody as we have a car off track and rejoining. And everyone breathes in as the blue flag then tries to go the other way to clear space. And that's Hellbrand. Hellbrand's made a mistake. It's Hellbrand going to lose position. That is 2 for 1 for Jakob Winter. No way in his wildest dreams did he think that was going to happen. Coming into Speaker's Corner though, Hellbrand right back in it. He's got 2 wheels on the green. Oh, and they've made a bit of contact on the way out. Jakob Winter has made his way through. Again, perfect. That's some beautiful stuff there, Martin.
He likes the outside line, doesn't he?
He really does. Oh, speaking of going one way or the other, which way is this one going to go? Is Winter going to drive for it? He's going to go around the outside of Blanchimon. Is he? He's not. He's going to make the Ferrari on the inside have a good old think about it. He's going to just bide his time. He's going to look for the cutback. He's going to make contact on the way, and the Ferrari's going to lose it. He's going to... Oh!
That's some damage, definitely, on both those cars.
Yeah, that was never going to end well. Oh, has he just made contact with the big brain car as well?
I'm pretty sure the steward will have a look at that.
Yes.
that was something. Can see here. I'm a terrible commentator when it comes to names, because I can't remember them for the life of me. But yeah, that's and they came across again. Oh,
yeah,
that was a nasty place. Personally, I wouldn't try and overtake there, and he comes in the pits right there. We had earlier, like, we had a pit strategy and everything counted out perfectly, but then there were some hardware issues from one of our drivers, so that throws it all in the bin. So what are you going to do then? So that's quite the interesting take on things.
Oh, that's a big off-track moment at the top of Eau Rouge. That's Timo Krobler. And this really has been a problem for the middle engine rear wheel drive cars, and it's a problem that's repeated. Oh, and he's missed that inside apex by a country mile.
Yeah,
he's
that's
not missed the barrier.
That was a hard hit. That was a really hard hit.
And they're back in front. The battle is going to continue for another few laps. It's Arsene Grigorian back up to 4th place. Clive Bixby for Vivid back out in 5th, right behind, despite the penalty, as Dive Bomb Motorsport have gapped both of them. So Dive Bomb Motorsports have handed over overtaking duties. Oh, and it's going to be the cold tyres versus the warm tyres, and he's gone for it. He's had a bit of a lock-up down into the double apex. He's managed to keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard on the exit, and he's got the overtake done, and he's right on the back of Shiro's wing already. Here we go. Let's go, Spa.
This is the benefit of those warmer temperatures outside right now, because those tires get up to temperature pretty quick now. So let's see if they can use it as an advantage. I think down the line, when a race enters the final stage, it will have less of a difference then. But now they can pretty much be on it directly after a Camel Straight. So that's quite nice to see.
Yeah, it really is. Fisher Racing must have prepped extremely well. Nice to see, said Castile's Deviant. They trained for roughly 3 to 4 days, says Alex Stratman. If that's your actual surname, and yeah, because I crack a joke every week when the UFC's on, because all the cutmen actually it's got their first name and then it's got underneath Cutman, and I always say, oh, it's lucky he was born with that surname.
Yeah, if that's his real surname, he's meant to do his job. Like, honestly.
Yeah, he really has. He really has. And yeah, Alex, let us know, how is the strategy playing out? I mean, obviously that seems like a silly question because you are absolutely, it seems to be an exquisite performance. But did you imagine in your wildest dreams you would get this kind of start? Did you think that you would pop in to say hello in the chat and you would get thrown under the bus for an interview? And how are the drivers feeling ahead of the 2 hours and 40 minutes left to go?
It's quite an interesting battle here going on as well, with Weinberg leading in the Ferrari in this particular group. A little bit of a squirm there. See what's going on here, because that exit speed has been compromised for sure.
Oh, it definitely has. Porsche almost climbing into the boot there. But yeah, one of the basic rules of racing, whether it's sim or real. Oh, corner exit speed is everything. He's gone for a bit inside. That's a bold move.
There was some contact there, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, massive contact there. Well, not massive, but certainly a lot of weight transfer. And here comes Reuter Engineer in the 2nd place. This is not what they needed to be saying. They would have expected to get this done at the bus stop. And they're going to get it done on Blanchimon, which is inevitably going to slow up Weinberg and Martinoni as well. But yeah, certainly Martinoni at first glance there, that was maybe a bit far back to be having a look. Let's see if they all make it through the braking zone of the final chicane, which is still erroneously called the bus stop. Of course, the bus stop chicane removed back in the 80s. We've just got Blanchimon now. Right, let's have another look at, for another yellow flag or two. So yeah, so coming through the college complex and heading towards Stavolo, as you mentioned, corner exit speeds massively compromised for the Ferrari, but the Porsche.
Yeah, that was.
Whoa.
That was optimistic. That was optimistic, but.
That is the word. We can use that word at this time of day. And Meegans could be in the pit up to 6 laps before Shiro, based on their previous stint timers, previous stints. So that is going to be an interesting one to see where Meegans comes back out once again. I wonder if they'd really long played the track position strategy. Oh, never mind that. Brogan Dyer up over Eau Rouge. He's absolutely nailed that one. He's got the La Source exit absolutely banged to right side, and he's given us a great side-by-side into Melody.
Exactly. Here you see it again, that mid-engine car just losing so much extra speed on the top of Eau Rouge. I no clue what happens there. Like, they just cannot get the power down, it seems. While on the Camel Straight, they lose out because that's a long straight. When you do not have the proper exit speed, that's over.
Fastest lap at the moment is Surprise, surprise. It's with Fisher Racing Esports. 2 minutes
Oh.
17.380.
Really?
I know, surprise, surprise. It's silly here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they promised us a 2 minute 16, and they still haven't delivered. So
Yeah,
That's
false
what they,
advertising.
yeah, I think so too. For Alex Stratman in chat as well. What's the purple lap right now? Is it 2:17.380?
Oh no, call it racing.
Ooh. Again, they already had so much damage on that car before.
Well, they came in and got it fixed. It's another driver behind the wheel.
Yeah, but they had damage before and
yeah.
was fixed, and now.
Yeah.
Not a lucky race for them.
Process, but yeah, that.
No.
Oh, look at that, Stavolo.
It's just lost it, really.
Now you know what? There was damage before that.
There was? Yeah, when I had my stint earlier on this race in the Aston Martin, the last 10 minutes, because it was really properly hot then, even hotter than it is now. Oh!
Indeed, and he's gently kissed the wall there. Is that Gregorian? It was. It's 4th place, about to be lapped, and it's Samuel Shar the wrong way around. Now, wow. I almost feel bad. They talk about cursing the commentator being a thing. I've literally just said they could afford to take a drive-through penalty and still be in the lead. Not in the wildest dreams did we think that this was going to happen. Let's have another look and see what did happen. Hopefully the trees don't get in the way. Just a slight miscalculation by both drivers. It's a slight miscalculation by somebody. That McLaren, did he get kicked off the curbs?
I don't know. But yeah, they can afford to do a pit stop now to get some fresh tires on, because those why risk it right now?
Yeah,
those tires will be out from damage.
Yeah, the stint time is going to be clear. Come in, repair any damage, put fresh tires on, settle the heart rate ever so slightly.
Yes.
Although I'm pretty sure we need to check this lot for alien DNA, so they might not have heart rates. It might just be like a series of zeros and ones.
Maybe it's that AI that Gran Turismo developed. I forgot the name of it. Sophie, yeah. Maybe it's that one of those. Who knows?
Well, Samuel Shar is Sophie. There you go. You heard it here first. All the S's.
Yeah.
If it's an alliteration, it works.
It is S Shar. Maybe it's Sophie Shar in hindsight, but we'll never know.
We'll never know. But yeah, all jokes aside, that is quite the clenching moment for the Fisher Racing team. They've had it absolutely all their own way for 5 hours and 3 minutes. Slightest contact on the way into Blanchimont there, finds themselves sideways and coming into the pits slightly earlier than they would have planned. We are guesstimating, certainly based on the race trend so far, they have run the stints as long as possible, and they did still have 26 minutes left of that stint, so that is a fair bit earlier. What it does mean though is that Fabian Sodka will get back onto the lead lap. That is the gap that the leaders have. That perfectly played out there for us. There they are leaving the pits, and second place. They've taken the lead. They've taken the lead.
What, Sodka? No.
Sodka's in the lead. Sodka's in the lead. He was 85 behind. They're in the lead. They've still got their pit stop to take, but they are in the lead. They are first place. My apologies. They weren't quite a full lap up. Oh well, yeah. So the length, yeah. They weren't a lap up. It did say they were +1 lap, but it now says they're in the lead by 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's an interesting turn of events, isn't it?
It really is, and Shar is right back out in traffic.
Yeah, it's not only that. Like the contact is not the only thing that is an issue, right? Because when you're constantly leading like that, and you get a contact moment with a back marker, it will throw your concentration away as well, because it'll catch you off guard naturally. So it'll take a little bit to get in, but as we said before, I think there's some alien DNA in it, so that will be right on it.
Yeah.
But normally it does take quite a little bit to adjust again to like, okay, what's happened and what's the plan we're going to do.
Yeah, and you know what? They might actually enjoy the overtake. I've
Yeah, just to be sure. They're right on the tail of
I was going to
Dive
say if they get it
Yeah.
done on track.
Oh.
What is going
What
on?
is going on? This is interesting. I mean,
That is the word. Interesting.
why give up such a big lead to dive behind them? Because let's
Maybe
be
they're
real,
going
because
for the
they had
fastest lap.
or they just want to have a challenge at the end of the race. Because with how Fisher Racing is doing their pit stop, that's just surgical. So they'll probably be ahead of Dive Bomb Racing anyway. So let's see how that pans out. I did not expect that. That's an unexpected move.
It is, yeah. And speaking of being ahead, Brogan Dyer is ahead convincingly of Orr Meegans.
Yeah,
has
but
stayed out ahead. That gap now 12.7 seconds.
Yes, 45 minutes to go. But Megan's pitted a lot later. Oh.
That is a forlorn Ferrari arm.
It's,
Oh no.
again, a little rouge moment for the Ferrari. Looks like it.
His hazard lights on the way up the hill. Oh, that's a bit much interaction.
Oh, that was a hard crash.
Wow.
That's some damage.
Yeah, that's the type of impact that stops a real life race event because there's all those tyres are all over the road.
Yeah. Luckily, we don't have to worry about injury here, so
yeah, thankfully.
That's all good. But to come back to it, like Megan's pitted a lot later than Dyer, of course. So they'll fresher tires by 50 minutes. But the track temperatures did cool down a little bit, but naturally it's not perfect yet.
Whew.
See, this is what I meant, surgical.
Overtook him in the pit stop.
So much precision there.
Incredible scenes.
We have Dyer now on the lead lap as well, if I'm correct.
Yes, we do. And Dyer also takes fastest pit stop, 28.9 seconds.
Wow. That's impressive.
How can you change tyres in under 30 seconds? Are they double stinting tyres for the last stint?
I can't even get one tire off in 30 seconds, let alone 4.
Dyer didn't change tyres then. Yes, Stratman, exactly. That's what's just dawned on me as well. If it's less than 30 seconds, he didn't change tyres.
So he's going with a scrub set tires to the end. And he's
in the lead of the race by 1.7 seconds. He's being hunted down by Shah. This is a bold strategy to get them onto the podium. Listen, if you take a gamble, it can go one of two ways. You can either lose and it goes wrong, or yeah, you win and great things happen. Brogan Dyer is nursing it. He's double stinting a set of tyres. What? We talked about testicular fortitude required for overtaking manoeuvres.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it testicular fortitude when someone is driving a bright pink car, though.
Oh, why not? You certainly can. You certainly can, especially with this much. And yeah, their team principal Denise, who does a lot of the strategies as well. She probably objects to the that using the terminology within the team. Actually, you're right. Sorry, we'll go with you on that one. But yeah, no, Brogan in the team. That is it's a bold call. I tell you, it's I didn't think they quite expected it to put them into first place.
No, now he has to drive the wheels off that BMW. So we have a BMW in 1 and 2 right now. And
oh wow! And the top 3 within 3 seconds in the closing 40 minutes, Aaron. We predicted this.
And don't forget, Meegans is on the hunt as well. Now behind them.
Oh, of course, yeah. Meegans 9.8 seconds.
Yeah,
down the road, 218.4 on that lap. Exactly the same lap time as Brogan Dyer's just put in.
Yeah, and they were 12 seconds behind. That's now 9.8. So they're hunting in close as well.
Yeah, his tyres are going to be absolutely cooked come the end of the race, so we'll have to talk about it. It's been brought up in the chat and we'll have to discuss this. This strategy, there is massive upside. They're in the lead of the race. The downside is fairly massive as well. These tyres, we've talked about the fact that even the difference between 45 minute and 60 minute, they're doing an hour and 35.
Yes, I felt a clear difference between throughout the race with the Aston Martin. So I'm quite curious what Dyer can do on these scrub set of tires, while the rest behind them is on a lot fresher tires. So we'll see. We see that Shah is closing up quick, naturally. But what will that happen? Because in the end, the race for Dyer is, I think, with Megan. So I'm also curious on how that will go at the end.
Yes, exactly, yes. Megan's 9.9 seconds down the road. He'll be looking to close in just like Shah. Shah absolutely reeling in the BMW ahead of him. He's going to have some pretty perfect overtaking opportunities fairly soon. If he doesn't get it done on the way to the final chicane on this lap, then expect next lap at Malmedy. To be fair, there is a track limit penalty outside the top 23, so we'll check on who that is in a second. So much more pace out of that corner exit.
It was Wiseman.
Yeah, he's indicating to the right, and that's exactly where Charlotte's gone. He's got that inside line, way more pace, way more grip. Absolutely sails almost a different sport, given the difference in grip. And even on the warming tyre, Samuel Shard sails back into first place.
And that BMW looks like it's starting to struggle real bad now.
Yeah, really, no pun intended, really will be feeling the heat. Those tyres are already on a knife edge and 30 minutes left to go. But the Wild Thing Racing holding on to second place for the moment with Dive Bomb in third. They have proved that they do not live up to the name Dive Bomb. With some absolute clinical overtakes so far, and yeah, I don't think it's too far out the realms of possibility to see one within the next 35 minutes, and I don't think it's going to be as long as that given the tyre situation. Megan's looking to take advantage of this situation as well, in fourth, looking to get back on the podium, long time second place for the Reuters car, and of course we have O'Sullivan in the top 5, the Mustang up to 5th position.
I mean, if you post a lot of posts. Ooh, here we go with the overtake. That's close. Good, well defended from Dyer though, but
yeah, beautifully done.
Really nice, well also done. But with the O'Sullivans in the top 5, like if you enter like a bunch of O'Sullivans, eventually one will find itself in the top 5. There's like 2 of them racing, right?
Sorry, Aaron, yeah, we're going to have to interrupt you there. We have breaking headlines brought to you live from BBR. It turns out that this evening's meal will be humble pie. It will be served to Aaron Walters. We do have a 216.7.
Yes, I see. He did it.
He has delivered.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
But then, like, they're alien, like those drivers. I don't know. As I said, running a bit wide there, but can deserve it. He can take it, but yeah, this Dyer now in P1.
Yes, indeed, Dyer in P1 under pressure once again. They're making this an interesting championship. There's 34 minutes left to go. There's only so many times you can throw the dice. They've now got 2 overtakes, and the one on Dyer, yeah, okay, he's in the lead. He's on the scrub tyres, but Shiro is on the same set of tyres as the BM. No, he's not. He's not on the same set of tyres because he's not been off track.
No, but like I said, they did the 216, but at what cost at this point?
Yes.
They're back in P3 once again. I'm pretty sure they can clear it, but eventually the time will start to tick.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, they've given themselves a nice bit of a battle. It's incredible from certainly from our point of view. Can they get this one back and get the race win? I'll tell you what, Shiro and the gang, they would absolutely love to bring home this race win. Dive Bomb Motorsports again, in no way, shape or form live up to that name. They have been, they've been just as clinical, almost as clinical as Shar. In fact, they have been as clinical because they're ahead. Let's face it, they've got them behind. There's been, some incidents in the closing hour for Fisher Racing, and it now brings us to the position where at 39 minutes they were back in the lead, 32 minutes left to go. They're in third position. Within 0.3 of a second of Dive Bomb Motorsport, who are within 0.2 of a second of Broken Dyer on a scrub set of tyres in the race lead. This is only round number 1, folks. Another 5 rounds to go.
Imagine the after 5.5 hours, the top 3 is separated in less than half a second. It's insane.
Absolutely incredible. 2 BMWs sandwiching the McLaren and onto the Kemmel Straight. That's a whole lot of slipstream.
Dyer will try to make that BMW as wide as a Bentley.
Oh, he's gone defensive early. He's going to send them both around the outside. He's going to move back over and try and get himself as much track position as he can. Heavy on the brakes. He's on the scrub tyres. He needs the rotation of the car. Gets that inside curve absolutely beautifully. Samuel's here. Oh, looking to make it 2 for 1. Oh, and he's half spun him and then he's straightened him back up again.
There was some contact, and I don't know who was at fault there. I couldn't see it from that angle, but if it was Shiro at fault,
tyres.
Yeah, those tyres. But if it was Shiro, that should have given the position back, but that's too late now, so we'll see what the stewards have to say about that.
Yeah, that's an interesting proposition for the stewards to look at there, and certainly Brogan Dyer is one thing to defend on scrub tyres, it's another thing entirely to try and come back and make an overtake stick. The track holding at 31 degrees. So no change since they've strapped on their final set of dancing shoes. We've got 2600s separating the top 2 with 31 minutes to go. Round 1 of the BBR ACM Endurance Series 2024, brought to you by G Portal and some extremely gleeful commentators and broadcasters, because this is absolutely
I'm glad I'm broadcasting the second half of this race, if I'm honest.
I was about to say, but Aaron will be especially delighted, because he was supposed to, there was a potential he was going to be out on track for this, and instead he has got front row seats to an absolutely incredible battle, and we've got more to come, because while that's been going on, Megan's has only gone and found 4 seconds on Brogan Dyer.
Yeah, like I said, Megan is going to it, so at the end of the race they will be right on top of each other, and of course Megan having that tire advantage. We'll see where it ends with from there, but they're catching on quick, and Dyer is dropping off, but that's not fully unexpected.
Yeah, Shiel Sullivan into the pits. I was just about to say we've got about 5 minutes left before the pit window closes, and it's when I say pit window, based on when the teams took their previous pit stop, there was going to be teams with the ability to pit as late as 25 minutes left to go. Shiel Sullivan in. Andrei Porshakov gets the McLaren back up to 5th position. Bixby for Vivid Global going to take a position, and so too. Oh, Reese O'Sullivan. Are we going to see O'Sullivan on O'Sullivan action in the closing few laps? This is going to be close between these two. They were close at early stages in the race, and as you have mentioned very astutely multiple times, it's all coming back together in the closing stages because of these strategies.
Yes. So the people that pitted late, of course, have the tire advantage at the end, so they'll close up pretty quick, as we see Shar still behind Shiro. Would be something else, and if Shiro would win this
noise ahead.
This race. Shar is ahead of Shiro. Yeah.
Yep, through Melmody. Oh, wow, absolutely hooks it on the inside curb. On the exit, round the outside, absolutely beautiful. Nothing less than you would expect from a driver of this caliber. Just sails it around the outside, spectacular. And Shiro as well. We've said it before, we'll say it again, it takes 2 to tango. The tangoed beautifully there, and Shar, incredible. You lead a race for 5 hours and then have to retake the lead twice, 3 times in the closing hour. That is definitely one for the scrapbook.
Yeah, but Shiro's still within a second of Shar, so It's going to be interesting in how that will pan out, like on the straights, because that toe within a second you're still good in that toe. So if he can keep hooking it up, it could be really interesting at the end. Because they're on the same tires, but Char did have that moment off the track, so don't forget that.
Indeed, yes. I think we will see a bit of a duel between the O'Sullivans. Reese is on the older tyres, pitted a while ago. Shea O'Sullivan has just exited the pits on a fresh set of rubber, 24 seconds down. But lap time
if they're like brothers
it's going to be
like
interesting. Yes, there is brothers and sons and cousins and things. I am terrible for not being able to remember all these connections, but in my 4 years I've commentated over about 18 different communities.
No, that's fine, but if they were brothers, I wouldn't want to be in the room that evening if someone made a mistake.
Christmas dinner would be fun. Megan's, it's one that Dyer will certainly have a grievance over happening as soon as possible, but it's not a grievance that he can have with Megan's. He was involved in a top 3 tussle and found his cooked tyres quickly showing him the exit. As well as a couple of little bits of contact as well, but he's now got Oren Megan's, the Reuter engineering car, long time second place, and for huge parts of the race, the second quickest car on track as well. Find themselves in 4th place after a couple of strategy changes, but with Brogan Dyer's tyres, Aaron, you get the feeling this one is going to be sooner, more when rather than if, because we do still have 23 minutes at 30 degrees for Dyer to navigate the BMW on those well-used tyres, and Megan's is quick.
Yeah, as I said, like this would be coming due to the fact that like Megan's pitted a lot later and actually changed their tires, which is something that Dyer didn't do. So that they will catch them, that was a given, but they're catching them at an alarming rate right now.
Yeah, less than half a second you can, yeah. Wow. So close. Beautiful driving by both. I don't often use this particular camera. Oh, the BMW. Oh yeah, Brogan said no thank you.
Not gonna do that.
There's no point in risking your own race, let alone someone else's. You know what, we went for a gamble, it didn't quite work out. I mean, I see they went for a gamble, they're still going to finish a position ahead of where they started. They're finishing in the top 5, they took a gamble that had them in the lead of the race until contact. So it's not a gamble that you can turn around and say, well, you know what, that didn't work out. It didn't quite pay off, but we certainly can't call that, I would say, a fully failed attempt. They had an each way bet in the background, and that's kind of what's paying off here, because they've gained their position in a strong field. And O'Sullivan
there's
alert.
Someone coming in the pits.
Sorry, O'Sullivan alert. I'm going to jump over you, but I'm going to let you talk us through the action that we're seeing, because it is O'Sullivan v O'Sullivan, brother v brother. It is Reese fending off the advances of Shea Mustang versus a BMW. Big Brain versus Big Brain. Aaron, bring it on.
Yeah, they're siblings as well, as we determined earlier, which has been confirmed. So let's see if someone takes the other out. That's going to be a lovely dinner they'll have tonight. And oh, that was, ooh, yeah, that was lovely done. That was really nicely done. And on the point, as Gray 14 predicted, would be at the last lap of just before that one, just before that actually. The laps in Spa are quite long.
Yeah, they are indeed, but yeah, beautiful overtake there by Shea. Didn't take long to catch up and sail around his brother there. So yeah, bragging rights going the way of Shea in the car. But let's not take anything away from their team performance as well. They've got 2 cars in the top 10. That is in fact, yeah, 2 cars in the top 10. That is, again, in this grid, that's absolutely no mean feat. And in fact, Shea O'Sullivan 8 places up from where they qualified, and Reese's car, sorry, I keep saying Ryan because I'm so used to seeing the R and saying Ryan. It is Reese. My apologies, Reese, sorry. I will get that right, because let's face it, man, you got pace. It's a name we're going to be hearing for a while as well. Field, let's have a look and see. It's a front engine rear wheel drive car that's having an issue. Now I tell you, that is second place just gone through. Oh, that's not the way to contact that curb. Just misses the back of the car, nose first.
Into the grass. Into the grass.
And that's Megan's.
What?
That was Megan's.
Really?
In third place. Let's watch that one again. So 307. Let's watch the same incident, but I'm going to jump on board with Megan's up in third place. Let's get on to helmet cam. And yes, there's the Aston Martin, goes up, hits the curb. So he's got no idea. He knows yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag.
Anything.
Hi, Aston. Speaking of after hours, Samuel Shar and his teammate, I'd imagine a bottle of champagne in the near future. We've got some incredible tracks. The North's life is an entirely different kettle of fish. It is, bringing home a race win in round one, always massively welcomed, but to do it in this style and to come back from the adversity with an hour to go, to still get them a 10-second gap up at the front of the field with a lap and a half to go, an absolute marker laid down for the rest of the series. And safe to say, solid favourites for the overall title. Shiro and Megan's well deserving of their penalty. Brogan Dyer and the Wild Things threw the dice. It didn't quite pay off. They're going to still gain that position, and certainly SC Racing in 10th. Keep an eye on them, as well as, of course, Big Brain Racing. But Aaron, once again, we find ourselves talking about the flawlessness of Fisher Racing. They literally have, as I mentioned a while ago, encapsulated everything you need. They took pole position, they've consistently lapped, they've quickly lapped, they've interacted with traffic, they've had flawless pit stops, they've come back from adversity.
Yeah, they had some small issues. Let's be real, because they had that moment off. But other than that, just a seamless drive. Honestly, they're basically untouchable. I don't know how anyone can be as fast as them at the moment.
Indeed, yeah, it just flawless, and the fastest lap as well, down in the 2:16s. The consistency just now as well, Samuel Shar. I mean, this is not unwarranted praise that we are heaping on simply to be bright, colourful, and linguistic. These last three laps: 2 minutes 17.4, 2 minutes 17.6, 2 minutes 17.3.
Yeah, and the fastest lap, of course, of the 2:16 something like this. It's just insane.
Yeah, 2:16.7 on a 30-degree track.
Yeah, although they said they can do 2:15, but that's to be seen.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, you would need 16 degrees, full cloud cover, 1 lap of fuel, I hope. Unless it's those strict conditions, yeah, I'm definitely selling my PC and my steering wheel.
This is the last lap of the race right now, so it's quite interesting to see what's going on.
It is, 11-second gap between the top two, so Shar back out front is just really putting the foot down in these closing stages. Shiro and Megan's looking good for these podium. Not 13 degrees. Oh wow. Yeah, 15 in normal practice, but not at 30 degrees. Yeah, 30 degrees is a bit toasty for that. But it's the final time through Stavolo. It has been an absolute flawless drive. 10 past 5 local time, 153 laps completed, and now 12-second gap.
Well, I mean, they left everyone at one stage. They left everyone except P2 at one stage. So imagine the speed they can have.
Yep, and there we go. The checker flag across the line as there is a lot of traffic around them. There we go. Nice big wiggle just in front of Vivid, and that is Footloose and Fancy Free from Samuel Shar and Fisher Racing Esports. bringing home a top tally of points. They took the trifecta, pole position, race win, and the fastest lap, Aaron. Just, yeah, can't say enough good things about them.
Well, they didn't grab the fastest pit stop, but other than that, they have everything.
This is true. This is true.
So
They did get
there is
some
still
points,
room
yeah.
for improvement, apparently. Nah, it's an amazing drive also from Shiro. Finishing P2. Amazing. Megan's recovering from that penalty in P3, going in top 3 position. Amazing job. And Dyer that kept those tires alive until the end.
Indeed he did, and now he's going for a double puncture on the rear. Love to see it. But yeah, bringing it home in 4th position, up 1 spot, Andrei Porshakov sliding into La Source for the final time. In 5th place, Bixby brings it home for Vivid in 6th position, and is bragging rights the way of Shea, the big brain Mustang, making up 8 positions, the largest gain in the top 15, no less. Only done by Barbary. In 16.
He has only he has the bragging rights for the upcoming month with the family gathering, so let him
Yes,
have
indeed.
it.
Yep, absolutely does. Yeah, but Reese, yeah, can definitely hold his head up very, very, very high with a solid 8th position in an absolutely incredibly stacked field. There is Neil Eriksson, best livery in sim racing, confirmed. Top 10 position, confirmed. Sergei Krasnov, ones to watch for this championship. That was an incredible race, and thank you very much for jumping in. But yeah, talk us through. I mean, that's incredible race. Really did well, Fisher Racing and the 2 teams on the podium. It's going to be a phenomenal championship going forward.